Hello everyone. In this video tutorial, we are going to discuss something regarding design for fluctuating load. In fact, design for fluctuating load or fatigue loading or fatigue failure or design for dynamic loading. All these are belonging to the CO number 3, which states that to investigate and determine fluctuating stress with respect to finite and infinite life of component under simple and combined loading conditions like transmission shafts using modified Goodman criteria. So main idea behind fluctuating load is loading with dynamic nature. There are two type of loadings, static loading and dynamic loading. When a load will be called as a dynamic load, whenever either magnitude or direction or both of the applied force is varying with respect to time, then the applied load is called as dynamic load. Often dynamic load happens to be a periodically applied dynamic load, periodically changing dynamic load. And it has been observed that whenever a machine part is subjected to dynamic loading, then the machine part often fails well below within the limit of yield strength or breakage. In case of ductile materials, machine parts made up of ductile materials, generally mode of failure is due to excessive plastic deformation due to aiding, and after aiding a breaking point happens and there the machine part fails. Whereas in case of brittle material, often the mode of failure is breakage kind of failure, where without much aiding, without much without much plastic deformation, the all of a sudden the machine part undergoes failure or breakage. But there is a specified limit for each and every material for undergoing or experiencing yielding or the breakage. But it has been observed that in case of fatigue loading or fluctuating stresses getting developed inside the machine part, often the failure happens well below the yield point in case of ductile material or well below the breaking point in case of brittle materials. So why it is happening so, and that's why while designing a machine part subjected to fatigue loading or fluctuating stresses, it has to be taken care that we have to assume its strength based on the dynamic loading conditions. So the design has to be modified considering the dynamic nature of the load applied to the machine part. Now there are broadly two types of dynamic loads. Dynamic loads are classified into two broad classifications: completely reverse loading, or the stresses getting developed due to completely reverse loading are called as completely reversed stresses, whereas the another type of loading is fluctuating loading, where the nature of the load is fluctuating or alternating or repeated load. So broad classification being completely reverse load and the fluctuating load. In case of completely reverse load, applied load or induced stress is having nature of plus minus, is having magnitude of plus minus. That means applied load will be say 100 Newton tensile, and in a cycle it will become 100 Newton compressive. That means, and this cycle will keep on changing. That means the applied load will be plus minus 100 Newton, or the induced stress will be having nature of plus minus. That means for half of the cycle it will be experiencing tensile stress, whereas for remaining half cycle it will be experiencing compressive stress, and magnitude of maximum compressive and maximum tensile stress will have equal magnitude. That means suppose plus 50 Newton per millimeter square that is tensile 50 Newton per millimeter square. Then half of the cycle will experience minus 50, that is compressive 50 Newton per millimeter square. Now see here, with respect to time, what is the nature of stresses getting induced inside the machine part? It is shown here. You can observe the maximum stress is having value of say 100 Newton. So minimum stress is having magnitude of say minus 100. That means stress is changing from plus 100 to minus 100. So average or mean of the stress induced inside the machine part will be equal to average stress, which is given by sigma max, maximum stress plus minimum stress divided by 2. So here average stress or mean stress denoted by sigma m will be having value of 0, plus 100 minus 100 divided by 2, so it will be 0. And amplitude of the stress, maximum stress, amplitude of the stress will be equal to sigma max minus sigma min divided by 2, so it will be equal to sigma max. So here a applied load, an applied load or induced stress will be called completely reverse load or completely reverse stress whenever the nature of the load is plus minus or the induced stress nature is plus minus. So here minimum stress will be equal to minus of the maximum stress. You can observe amplitude will be equal to maximum stress and mean stress or average stress will be equal to 0. The another category of stresses is fluctuating load or fluctuating stresses. So here the nature of fluctuating load will be such that average or mean of the stress will not be equal to 0, or it will not be having plus minus nature. That means sigma minimum will not be equal to minus sigma maximum, or amplitude of the stress will not be equal to sigma max. Also sigma m, the mean stress or average stress will not be equal to 0. An alternating stress as shown here is a fluctuating stress where sigma minimum will be negative. Here type of or three kind of stress has been shown here. Repeated stress where sigma m is equal to 0. If minimum stress is equal to 0, the stress is varying from 0 to maximum, again to 0, again to maximum in a cyclic fashion. Then the load, then the applied load or induced stress will be called as repeated stress. Repeated stress, in case of repeated stress, how to find out certain stress is repeated stress? Whenever sigma minimum is equal to 0, sigma minimum is equal to 0 and sigma m average stress is equal to sigma max upon 2, sigma a is also sigma max upon 2. In such cases, the applied load or induced stress will be called as repeated load or repeated stress. In case of fluctuating stress, if sigma max is not equal to 0, then the applied load will be called as, or induced stress will be called as fluctuating stress. Whenever sigma m mean stress is not equal to 0 and minimum stress is also not equal to 0, then the stress induced or applied load will be called as fluctuating load or fluctuating stress. In case of alternating stress, this minimum induced stress or applied minimum load will be below 0. That means it will be having negative sign. If the minimum stress induced or applied load, minimum applied load is with negative sign, then the applied load is called as alternating load or induced stress is called as alternating stress. So there are three kind of fluctuating stresses. Repeated stress where sigma minimum is equal to 0. Then fluctuating stress, most general type of the stress, because all the remaining types can be considered as special case of fluctuating stress. And alternating stress, it is a special case of fluctuating stress where sigma minimum is equal to is some negative value. So these are the four different type of varying load or varying stresses, fluctuating load or fluctuating stresses, and we have to deal with them in a different way. In case of in case of varying load or fluctuating stresses, the applied load or induced stress is in a cyclic fashion, and that's why life of a machine part subjected to fluctuating load or fluctuating stress is measured in terms of number of cycles, work cycles or stress cycles sustained by the machine part before exhibiting the failure. If the life of a machine part is greater than 1 million cycles, that means 10 raised to 6, 10 lakhs of the cycles, then that life of 1 million or 10 lakh is 10 lakh cycles, of course, is assumed as infinite life. Practically, infinite life is that life where the number of cycles completed before failure is greater than 10 raised to 6. It is assumed that if a machine part completes 10 raised to 6 cycles, then it will theoretically never fail and it will sustain the applied varying stress. Practically, it may help, but it is assumed that theoretically, it is assumed that it is having infinite life for varying load. So as the applied load is in generally is in cyclic fashion, work cyclic fashion, therefore life of a machine part subjected to varying load is also measured in terms of cycles, and 10 raised to 6 cycles, 1 million cycles of life is assumed as infinite life. In your examination, generally four type of numericals based on type of the stresses will may appear in your examination, SPPO university examination, broadly classified as numericals based on completely reverse stresses for infinite life, completely reverse stresses, a machine part subjected to completely reverse stress with a finite life. If 10 raised to 6 cycles is assumed as infinite life, then a life below 10 raised to 6 cycles or 1 million revolutions, 1 million cycles is assumed as finite life. So there is a possibility of numerical based on completely reverse traces, one for infinite life and another for finite life. In case of fluctuating stresses, alternating repeated or fluctuating stresses, if a machine part is subjected to fluctuating stress or alternating stress or repeated stress, then also two different types may appear in your examination. One first type where numerical is to be solved using Soderberg's line or Goodman line or Gerber line, and the another type where the numerical is required to be solved using modified Goodman diagram. So there is possibility of four different types of numericals based on this fluctuating load or machine part subjected to fluctuating load, and we have to go through this during this unit. Now in this video tutorial, we have considered, seen what is meaning of dynamic load, what are the common types of fluctuating loads or fluctuating stresses, and what are the common formats of numericals for different types of numericals required to be solved in your university examination. So that's all for this today's video tutorial. Thank you.